Today, I would like to share the first two letters that my dad wrote to my grandma, his mom, when he got drafted to Vietnam. The first piece of documentation that I have is marked April 30th, 1969, and that was the postcard that was sent to my grandma and grandpa that had his mailing address on it in Fort Leonard Wood. His first official letter was sent to my grandma, his mom, on May 3rd, 1969. Understand this is in cursive, and these letters have been preserved very, very well, but they are hard to read. So I will do my best and try to figure this out as I'm reading them. But sometimes that's part of the journey too, to figure out what your loved one wrote or the meaning behind those words. This letter starts out, "Dear Mom and Dad and all, how are yous? Fine, I hope. I am just fine. I am in the restroom writing this letter because the lights are out at 9, so I am tired. But I have time to write a line or two. Mom, tell Dad and all the turkey hunters I told all my buddies about them not getting a turkey." And then it's like, ha, 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 ha. My dad actually wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ha, ha, ha's. I can't even picture him writing that. I am glad I got one. Mom, send Johnny Pope my address, okay? I know you will. So John Pope is a very, very close friend of my dad. Basically, they're like brothers, and they were raised up together, and they're still very close. They're both still alive, so that's a good thing. We have been running all the time, everywhere we go. We have to run or march, and Monday morning, I will start basic training. And as far as I know, I will not get to come home like I would like to. Mom, tell everybody down there I said hi and to write me, because I am homesick. Bad. And we have been, I think this is split, but I'm not sure. And I can't read these other two words. So, and then it's like over here, me and I think it's Charles and Jerry is in A company, but I think this is Chester is in C company. And I am pretty sure these are people he was drafted with from where we were from. So I think personally, these were some of his friends that he knew. I think Mom and Dad and all, I'm going to close for now. With all my love, Private Bobby W. Bland. So I asked my dad some questions. I asked my dad how he felt when he got drafted. And he said he was 19 years old. And at the time, he was working and living with his aunt and uncle. And he didn't pay attention to what was on the TV and really didn't pay attention to what was going on in Vietnam. And he says, quote, "It was on TV and in a different country." And he had no thoughts on the draft notice because you were just expected to serve. And I asked my dad what his true thoughts were on the draft, like when he actually received his draft notice. And his direct quote was, "Oh shit, just go with the flow. I didn't know what was ahead, and just to do what I was told." And like many soldiers, he had an option. He could have gone to another country. He could have ran. He could have tried to escape that, but he didn't. He opted to serve with that draft notice. So I'm usually only going to share like one letter, but I thought since it's the first time, I'm going to share a second letter because it's a shorter one too. And I hope you really appreciate this viewpoint from a young soldier being drafted, because I do think it tells a different story in his own, and right now, my dad's own words. They're not mine. They're not the government's. They're not something on TV. They're his words. And yeah, so maybe he doesn't have perfect grammar or perfect spelling. And let me tell you, hardly anything's capitalized in these letters. But he left high school at 10th grade to go to St. Louis to work and earn money. And there's nothing wrong with that. He did get his GED later. But so the second letter is dated the 18th of May, 1969. So that's about 2 weeks or so after the first one. And it reads, "Dear Mom and all, how are yous? Fine, I hope. I am just fine." He likes the word fine, I'm pretty sure. "Well, Mom, I am sending some pictures. They cost, I do believe this is $10. And you and Betty," I found out Betty was his girlfriend, "pick out the ones yuns want and see if you can get an enlargement of that one so you can give Betty one if you don't care." I don't know what pictures these were. I do have some photos that I'll share throughout this, but I don't know which photos these were in particular. Maybe the official photos they took. I'm going to share one I think might be one of them, but I'm really not sure because I don't know where these photos are. And we used to have quite a few photos at my mom and dad's house, but our house burnt down. It's been over 20 years, and so we lost most of our photos. And I have very few photos of my dad's Vietnam journey. The ones I received from the ones my other families have, the other family, like my aunts and uncles, that they had, or I did connect with one of his sergeants, and he had a lot of photos, so he sent them to me. So I'll share what I can when I can, but understand, I would love to give you more photos, but this is a part of this I don't have. But I would love to see some of those, but it is what it is. So going back here, so we know my dad sent these photos, and he says, "I will be getting some more later on, so don't fight over them, okay? Well, Mom, we went out to the rifle range, and I got the best score of the whole company. And I was so happy, and I'm pretty sure to win." "Mom, I can't think of much of anything to write. Just don't get mad for me not writing you any more than I do. Well, anyway, this is my last piece of paper, so I will close for now. So bye for this time. Love always, Bobby Bland." My dad was raised on a farm, and they had, he's always been a very good hunter, and he's always been a very, very, very good shot. So that didn't surprise me when I read that. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the first few pieces of documentation that I have from my father, and I hope you continue following this journey as I share my dad's story. And this is his story. It's not mine. It's not anybody else's. And some of these letters are hard to read sometimes because I think of my dad only being 19 years old and being drafted and going into the unknown like so many other soldiers. So, and some of them are really hard to read. due to the trauma that's in the letters. So they're honest and they're not inflated. They're real words. So thank you very much. If you're a subscriber, if you're a listener, I'm getting ready to have a cup of coffee, hit the gym, and stay tuned next week. And it looks like the next letter is actually just a few days later. So enjoy your day. Have a great day.